Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin's story begins in the post-war ruins of Leningrad, now St. Petersburg. Born on October 7, 1952, his early life was modest, a stark contrast to the grandeur he would later inhabit. His father, a factory worker and war veteran, and his mother, a laborer, instilled in him a sense of resilience and patriotism. Leningrad's streets, scarred by the siege, whispered tales of hardship and survival, shaping young Putin's worldview. He developed a keen interest in martial arts, finding solace in judo and sambo, activities that would later contribute to his carefully crafted public persona. However, it was his sharp intellect that truly set him apart. Drawn to the world of espionage, Putin joined the KGB in 1975 after graduating with a law degree from Leningrad State University. This marked the beginning of a 16-year career shrouded in secrecy. He served in East Germany, honing his skills in intelligence gathering and cultivating a deep understanding of the West. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, however, brought about a sudden end to his KGB career, leaving Putin at a crossroads. The fall of the Soviet Empire presented both challenges and opportunities. For Putin, it was a chance to redefine himself and his place in the new Russia. He returned to his hometown Leningrad and navigated the tumultuous world of post-Soviet politics. His entry point was the office of Leningrad's mayor, Anatoly Sobchak. Putin's competence and discretion did not go unnoticed. He rose through the ranks, his KGB background proving to be an asset in the murky waters of Russian politics. In 1996, his trajectory took him to Moscow, where he joined President Boris Yeltsin's administration. Yeltsin, battling health issues and political instability, saw in Putin a capable and loyal lieutenant. In 1999, in a move that surprised many, Yeltsin appointed Putin as prime minister. This was followed by Yeltsin's sudden resignation on New Year's Eve 1999, leaving Putin as acting president. The transition was swift and decisive. Putin, thrust into the limelight, promised stability and strength. He launched a military campaign in Chechnya, quelling the separatist movement and solidifying his image as a decisive leader. In the 2000 presidential election, he secured a comfortable victory, marking the beginning of his reign over Russia. Vladimir Putin's leadership is often described as authoritarian, characterized by a strong central government and a tight grip on power. His rule has undeniably brought stability to Russia after the chaos of the 1990s. The economy, fueled by oil and gas revenues, experienced significant growth, raising living standards for many Russians. However, this stability has come at a cost. Putin's critics argue that his regime has systematically silenced opposition, stifled dissent, and undermined democratic institutions. Independent media outlets have been suppressed, and journalists critical of the Kremlin have faced intimidation, imprisonment, or even death. The poisoning of Alexander Litvinenko in 2006 and the attempted poisoning of Alexei Navalny in 2020, both vocal critics of Putin, sent shockwaves through the international community, raising serious questions about the Kremlin's methods. Putin's supporters, however, argue that these are isolated incidents blown out of proportion by a hostile West. They point to his high approval ratings as evidence of his popularity and the public's support for his strong leadership. The two faces of progress: domestic policies under Putin. Putin's domestic policies have been a complex mix of social conservatism, economic pragmatism, and a relentless pursuit of national greatness. He has aligned himself with the Russian Orthodox Church, promoting traditional values and positioning Russia as a bastion of Christian civilization against a perceived decadent West. Economically, Putin has overseen a period of relative prosperity, thanks in part to high oil prices and prudent economic management. He has also invested heavily in infrastructure and modernized the Russian military, restoring a sense of pride and purpose to the armed forces. However, his rule has also been marked by increasing authoritarianism and a shrinking space for civil society. Independent voices have been silenced, and political opposition has been systematically dismantled. Critics argue that Putin's policies have created a climate of fear and self-censorship, eroding democratic norms and stifling free expression. The bears roar: Putin's foreign policy. On the world stage, Putin has pursued a foreign policy aimed at restoring Russia's status as a global power. He has challenged the West's dominance, asserting Russia's sphere of influence in its near, abroad, and beyond. The 2008 Russo-Georgian War, The annexation of Crimea in 2014, and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine are seen by many as evidence of his willingness to use military force to achieve strategic objectives. Putin's intervention in the Syrian civil war in 2015, propping up the regime of Bashar al-Assad, further cemented his image as a major player on the global stage. His relationship with the West, particularly the United States, has been fraught with tension and mistrust. Accusations of election interference, cyber attacks, and human rights violations have strained diplomatic ties. Putin's supporters, however, argue that Russia is merely defending its interests against Western aggression and hypocrisy. The enigma of power, Putin's legacy in the 21st century. Vladimir Putin's legacy is a subject of intense debate. His supporters hail him as the savior of Russia, the man who restored order from chaos and returned the country to its rightful place on the world stage. His detractors, however, view him as an autocrat, a ruthless manipulator who has dismantled democratic institutions and trampled on human rights. One thing is certain: Putin has left an indelible mark on Russia. He has reshaped the country's political landscape, redefined its role in the world, and challenged the existing global order. Only time will tell how his legacy will be ultimately judged. What is clear, however, is that understanding Vladimir Putin, the man and the leader, is essential to comprehending the complexities of 21st century geopolitics.